Friends, roadies, countrymen, it's me again, John Edmund, podcasting out to all you wonderful listeners around the world. This month I've been talking about the search for a hit song and how some of them came about. Last week I spoke about being employed by the Gallo Music Group, traveling around the world and learning so much about the music industry and copyright from my mentor, Mr. Ralph Trewheeler. Everybody's heard of the famous Cannes Film Festival that's held annually in that delightful French Riviera town. Well, every year a music festival is held there called MIDEM. The acronym MIDEM is Marché International du Disques et Éditions Musique. In other words, the International Convention for Records and Music Publishing. I had been Gallo's music publishing representative at that important gathering every year during my employment there. In fact, I attended MIDEM 17 times. My function, of course, was to scout for songs and music catalogues for Gallo and the company's signed artists, together with showcasing Gallo's songs for prospective recording with international artists. At those conventions, I struck up wonderful relationships with music folk from around the world, and it's always great to catch up with friendships I'd made from every country all over the place. Although this festival was held in January, and it's winter in Europe, the French Riviera is not Siberia. The flowers are blooming in the gardens along the beachfront, and the yacht basin is a picture with the variety of luxury boats and yachts moored there. The hotels along the beachfront are luxury. Gallo always booked me into the Majestic Hotel, which, as the name implies, was majestic. Many large companies had stalls in the Palais de Festival, but many, like ourselves, preferred to meet in hotel lobbies and strike deals there. I think the Carlton lobby was the most picturesque of all, and some of the biggest deals in the world were struck there over a bottle of champagne. Many international stars performed in the evenings in the theatre, and during my times there I saw and met many. I mentioned the yacht basin, and many parties were held on luxury yachts there, and of course deals were also concluded over a glass of French cognac. At the eastern end of the beachfront was a hotel called the Martinez, and the bar never closed. I think it was open 24/7. I spent many evenings there with my special friends. Imagine sitting around a roaring fire with Teruo from Japan, Bjorn from Finland, Anders from Sweden, Bruce from Australia. No kidding, my mate was Bruce. His name was Bruce Powell. And Chuck from the USA. And what about Ralph from Germany? Well, one evening we were all bragging about our countries and our beaches. Well, me with Durban Beach, Chuck with Miami, and Bruce with Bondi Beach in Australia. Conversation got around to the Cannes Beach and how the Med was so cold and not really a surface paradise. Then my international pals dared me to swim in the Med. In January, I took them on. Now, the American guy had brought his secretary along with him, a very straightforward, upright lady, wearing a pair of spectacles, and she looked very, very, very straightforward. The guys jokingly dared her to join me, and much to their surprise, she did. The crowd of us crossed the street and went onto the beach. I stripped to my undies, and the lady to her bra and panties. I held my breath, bit my lip and dived in. She followed. We dived out quicker than we dived in, and with no towels we put on our clothes, ran back to the bar and round the roaring fire. In no time we were dry. Our bar bill was duly paid by the gang who dared us. In those days everything musical was on vinyl, and you would take as many sample records as you could take back home, often being overweight on the plane. Back home, it was a long and tedious process, going through all the samples and replying to all the various companies. Luckily, I found several hit songs for some South African artists. But one sample from Italy stuck in my mind. It was called Gira l'amore. I didn't even know what it meant. It was from Italy. Luckily, our sales manager, Fred Bagnato, was Italian. When I asked him what it meant, he just said, "The singer is just saying a love turns around." What now? Well, I played the record to Teddy Dempsey, and we agreed it had it in the groove. So, getting permission from the publisher, we wrote the English lyric to the song. The result? Every day, every night. It was an instant hit. My goodness me, hit number 6 on the national charts. The hit parade was determined by radio requests, single record sales, and the information was collated together by a committee of the national broadcaster. Luckily, I had hit records in Rhodesia, and regional radio stations also had their hit parades. So songs I wrote like Jock of the Bushveld, Farewell Britannia, Wish I Was a Blue Job, and Hello Suzanne made it, but not to the national charts. So, folks, I'll stop here, because next week I'd like to tell you more about the search and quest for that magical song, the one that has it in the groove. Till then, folks, don't forget to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Keep an eye on my website, and remember, you can get my music on most popular music platforms. Above all, you can get the album called By Request that contains all these songs. You can get it from buymusic.co.za or from my website. So from me, it's bye for now. Stay safe. Salagashle, shalom, and zvakanaka.